Hello, what is going on, everybody? It's Evan here with you guys for another deck profile. Right now, I'm profiling these Shaddoll Volcanic deck, which is currently two of my favorite decks combined. It's fairly simple. It's a 50 card deck, and let's jump right into it. So, we got Blaster, because Blaster's really good with being able to special summon himself from the hand or graveyard and being able to dish another fire to destroy something. Or dragon, if you have. Isn't there a dragon in here? No. Guess not. Never mind. Denkoseka. Denkoseka is really good in, I guess, any deck you could say. Especially if your opponent has set cards. You can just, if they can't open up with a monster, but they got a lot of traps, if you can open up with Denkoseka to be lucky, you can attack for 1700 almost with no penalty. And Royal Star 5 Storm Guards is basically a pot of avarice for the deck because we play Volcanics kind of more as a draw engine for our Shaddolls. We play Volcanics to draw with, and I'll get into that in a few minutes. Yeah, basically you can shuffle your Pyros. Oh, Pyro. Shuffle all your Pyros back into your deck and draw two cards. Hold on a second, someone messaged me. Oh, that's just Ethan. I'll message him later. Then we have pretty standard Shaddoll lineup. We have 2 Bees, 2 Dragon, 2 Falco, 2 Hedgehog, and then 2 Squamata. Now, I play 1 Hound because I feel it's a really good card. Not too many people play it, but being able to add cards back to your hand, or if you have Shaddoll set, if you can activate it at the right time, if you can get the timing right, you can flip your things up and go even more plus. And for our Volcanics, we have 3 Rocket, 3 Scattershot, and 3 Shell. Scattershot is really good because he's a Regeki when it gets sent to the graveyard by a Blaze Accelerator card, and anytime one gets sent to the graveyard, your opponent loses 500 life points. So it's basically, Regeki plus 1500 burn. I mean, that's awesome. Shell, you can burn yourself for 500 to add another to your hand. Condition is you need to have one in your graveyard. Now, I run Mask Change 2, Mask Change 2, because I feel this card is really good in a lot of decks, because being able to take almost any of your cards and go into, Dark Law, basically, is very good. And, I also have Koga in here, for that. And, you guys are probably asking, why do you have Master Acid? He's water. Well, I'll get onto that in a little bit. So, 3 MST, and for the reason why we have Acid, is the new Shaddoll support spell, Nefa Shaddoll Fusion. Allows you to declare an attribute, and then you equip it to a Shaddoll monster, and it becomes the attribute you call. During your main phase, you can fusion summon 1 Shaddoll fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or your side of the field as fusion materials, including the equipped monster. You can only use the effective Nefa Shaddoll fusion once per turn. So, pretty simple. It's really good, actually, because it allows you to make any Shaddoll fusion card you want, or it allows you to change the attribute to be able to use your Mask Change 2 if you combo it, depending on whether you need a Shaddoll Fusion card or a Masked Hero card. Also play 1 Regeki, 3 Shaddoll Fusion, pretty self-explanatory. It's Fusion Summon. Oh, if they have a card in their extra deck, you can use any card in your deck to Fusion Summon. Pretty awesome. Snatch Steal wins games by itself. That's pretty simple. Triple Blaze Accelerator. This is basically your draw engine to dump your Volcanics into the grave and draw an extra card to hopefully get into your Shaddolls and go off with your extremely fast plays. So basically, it combines the really fast-paced speed of Shaddolls with the really slow-paced speed of um, Volcanics, but with the new support card in Volcanics, it speeds them up. So you're basically creating a really fast deck for yourself, but kind of a slow stun deck for your opponent. One Compulse, 3 Sinister Shadow Games. Here's a little combo that's pretty cool if you can get off with Sinister Shadow Games. Let's say you already have one card set of your Shaddolls. For example, Falco. If you play Sinister Shadow Games, you can send your Hound to the graveyard, use Hound's effect, flip your Shaddoll Falco, get its effect to special summon any other Shaddoll you have in the grave. Then the second effect of Sinister Shadow Games will work, and the card that you special summon with Falco can be flipped up with Sinister Shadow Games. And then you get even more plus. 1 Solemn and 3 Vanity's Emptiness. Vanity's Emptiness is pretty self-explanatory. It doesn't allow your opponent to play Yu-Gi-Oh! At all. Now moving on to the extra deck, we have 2 Shadow Construct. Probably the best Shadow Fusion in the game right now, considering when it's special summoned, not just I don't run anything to special summon anyways. The only way I special summon it is by fusion summon, but anytime it gets special summoned, whether it be Call the Haunted, Soul Charge, anything, you get to send a Shaddoll to the grave and get its graveyard effect, which is pretty awesome. And then doesn't matter if you're like battling a Leo, at the start of the damage step, you can just pop it. And the great thing, as with all Shaddoll fusions, is this part right here. Discard them to the graveyard. You can target one Shaddoll Spellcast trap card in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So pretty great that, where you can go to the grave, let me just add my Nepha Shaddoll fusion or my regular Shaddoll fusion back to my hand. 1 Grista, because we do play fires in here, and once again, Nepha Shaddoll fusion to change the attribute. Window, probably the second best fusion, because it can't be destroyed by card effects, and it locks your opponent into only 1 special summon per turn, where with this deck, it doesn't really lock you out at all, because you're controlling the pace of the duel with Window, and if you play your cards right, you'll be able to either stall with your Volcanic, and you'll also be able to gradually build up your field while your opponent can only special summon once per turn, which is very good, especially against decks that need their special summons, like Burning Abyss. If they activate Tour Guide's effect, they can't overlay and make Dante, or if they want to get the graveyard effect of one of their Burning Abyss monsters, they can't normal summon one and special summon the other, because they only get 1 special summon that turn. So Glyphort, it doesn't really matter because the Pendulum summon is 1 summon. Pretty broken, but doesn't matter. Then we have 1 Master Acid, 1 Dark Law, 1 Goka, and 1 Koga. You never know when you're going to need to attack over something, or just lock your opponent out of banishing, or destroy back row, or just have another monster with a lot of attack to get out, a beat stick, 1 Goyo, because we do have lots of level 4s in here, and we have Shaddoll Falco, which allows you to synchro summon considering it's a tuner. We play 1 Castel, 1 Daigusto Emerald, 1 Honor Arc, 1 Ragna Zero, and 1 104 Masquerade. Emerald's really good because you can, stock your deck back up with your cards when you need to, because with it being a very fast deck with Shaddolls, lots of times you can run through a lot of resources in 1 turn. And Ragna Zero, Honor Arc, very self-explanatory. Ragna Zero, also good against lots of decks because you really don't realize how much decks gain attack. And then we have Masquerade, which is a very underestimated card, but anytime your opponent activates a monster effect during the battle step, even if it is in the graveyard, you can still negate it and then burn your opponent for 800. Well, that about concludes this deck profile, so I guess I'll see you guys later.